So one of the most common things people will come in here for a lesson they'll be super concerned with is early extension. So either they've videoed their own swing, they've watched a YouTube video, they've had a coach tell them you're really early extending. That's the source of your issue. That's why you deliver too much loft. That's why you're slicing it, and it preoccupies them. They'll be given drills to keep their butt on a chair and swing and all this kind of stuff. I can tell you from experience, close to 1,000 people have been through here. I've kind of yet to see a person where that was actually their highest priority. Their biggest problem was early extension. I've seen people that due to age or body restriction, they kind of have to do that to get the club moving, and we work around it. Like the vast majority of the time, people are early extending for a reason. So usually, from the top of the swing, the face is working itself dynamically open. The club is working itself steep as a result of the dynamically open face. So basically, an open face, I need to get steep to hit a decent shot. That person is early extending to take this steep motion and not break their wrist into the ground. So the early extension is a symptom, not a cause. I pretty much have never seen it be the cause of a person's problems. It's your body just trying to make something work. The first motion, the face works really open. Their brain goes, oh God, what do I do? We start to steepen the shaft, and we make as much space as we can for the club to shallow itself out, because it's not shallowing out naturally. It's in a very steep and in front position. This thing would hit before the ball. You would chunk it. You wouldn't be able to pull it back online. You wouldn't be able to do those things without excessive. And early extension can mean different things. For some people, they're lifting their body up. Other people are pushing the legs up into the toes. Some people are sort of humping the ball, so to speak. Whatever it is, who cares? It's such an overused, over-focused on term, and I don't see it usually as much of a priority as people think that it is. So focus on the things that cause that motion to be necessary. Don't focus on that thing. If I make my normal motion and I keep my ass against a chair, I start down, I have the face open, I am steep, I keep my ass against the chair, I'm going to be just chopping down into the ground. I'm probably taking massive divots, hitting weird like low fades. You're not going to stick with that. A coach tells you that, you do it, you video the swing, you're like, oh wow, that looks great. Look at my spine angle, look at my side bend. Look at the ball flight, and it's just garbage. And you, of course, you'll abandon that. If I take it kind of open on the downswing and steep, and I kind of make space for it, I do my best to kind of get up out of the way. And yeah, people hit a lot of super high slices. They deliver a lot of loft. They look at their loft number and they go, oh, that's 34 degrees of loft I just delivered on a 34-degree 7-iron. I don't want to do that. Where's my shaft lean? I hit down on the ball somehow with a ton of loft. How is it even possible? How can I be hitting downwards but have all this loft? That excess motion is producing a lot of shaft kick out. So the upward motion of the body produces the upward motion of the handle of the club, which presents a lot of loft. And because you were steep to begin with, you're lucky you're only 4 degrees down. I see people a lot more down than that. So that's what's going on there for that person. And I don't know how many videos there are that get real with people about early extension, but my usual conversation with people about it is, let's take that down several notches on your priority list. You'd be amazed how well you can hit the ball without thinking about that at all. We address it other ways. Now, having that experience, and also having a recent experience where I have an extremely sore wrist, as you can see, has sort of led me to realize there's another huge category of people that I see all the time, and I look at them from this face on camera, and they do the complete opposite. They don't extend at all. So handle dragging is one way you may have heard this described, holding onto your wrist angles. There's a lot of things that get described, but I've not really ever thought of it as, hey, maybe this person really never actually is extending. And I don't just mean going like this through impact. I mean producing like pretty functional force out of the legs, pushing upward. So as I push upward, the club kicks itself out. If you appreciate our honest, unbiased, no marketing approach, you can help support the channel in a couple of ways. Leave us a super thanks. You can actually order just about anything golf club or shaft wise through Golf Liberty. Look at someone like a Rory McIlroy, objectively look at his swing from face on. He is not keeping a perfectly level head all the way through. The guy is getting a little bit of squatting motion, but as he gets to impact, there's a huge amount of extension, really straight in the lead leg. The lead hip is really moving up and around him. He's really pushing hard. And that's how, even though at the top of the swing he has fantastic lag and really retains it, the force from the legs begins to allow the handle, I mean the grip, to move back up a little bit relative to where it was, which, as you can see, gets loft back on the club. So part of this for me is I realized, okay, this person also who doesn't extend can't really chip very well. They can't hit bunker shots very well. They can't produce loft effectively. They can only produce loft by leaning back or sort of flipping at it or doing something at the last second. It's not happening naturally. If you're an early extender, don't make the mistake of becoming a no extender, because I'm a no extender and it's hurt the hell out of my wrist and it's hurt the hell out of my ability to hit good shots. So I'll give you an example right now. I'm going to look at it in a high-speed video for your reference. My current thought is actually I'm initiating my downswing by feeling pushing up an extension out of my legs fairly uniformly. I don't want to only push with one leg. I know there is differences in ground forces. I know that. But I'm also trying to prevent myself from tilting back. So the personal feel right now is I want to produce some of that upward force out of the legs, so I make a lot of space for the club to come through. I make a lot of space for the handle to rise. And know that I'm working on that because I don't have the face dynamically open. I don't have the club coming in too steep. In fact, I have the opposite issue. I'm going to try to extend like crazy on this one, what feels like it, and we'll objectively look at the high-speed video and see what that actually produces. Okay, so I would take that as a decent kind of first start. And an interesting thing I kind of felt about that I normally can't do, produce angle of attack downward, that was about 5 degrees down, while also producing loft. Now at the moment, it's a little bit too much loft. So you have to remember, I've been on the 3D system recently, and I developed a habit of last minute adding loft to kind of fix this no extension problem. So like I've said about a number of swing changes, you cannot just think that, hey, I changed this one thing, everything in my swing falls into line. That first shot is a bit of a weird ball flight. It's kind of spinny. It's a little more lofted impact, whatever. You've got to go with the feel of it. How's it looking? How's it feeling? How do I plan to progress over the course of months, and how do I let my body adapt? You can kind of watch my head, watch my legs. Certainly doesn't look like early extension to me. What I notice is that normally in the downswing and transition, my head, if anything, through impact, goes really low and chases forward. My legs stay kind of soft. Here you can see the head, if anything, is sort of maintaining position, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. The legs are straightening a little bit. I can actually see a little bit of the old back pockets, meaning the lower body's clearing a little bit. You do need a little bit of this upward extension to get your legs to move through. So my kind of moment of clarity came, I think, yesterday or the day before. I was messing around with this. I had a bit of a thought. I'm like, I wonder if like the fact that I really don't extend, because I was talking to someone about early extension. I'm like, I don't extend at all. I wonder if that's why I've never been able to hit low lofted drivers or like low lofted 3-woods off the deck. And I was kind of working on this feel with some irons and went, you know what? I'm just going to take a little bit of a big leap here. I grabbed a mini driver, which I'm going to hit a couple for you here. And I'm like, if this is the type of thing that is actually producing change, I'm going to make a couple swings like this and see if I can do something I've literally never been able to do, which is hit a mini driver off the deck with like a normal ball flight, normal launch and spin. And of course I didn't hit them all perfect, but I hit a couple at least where I posted one on my Instagram. I looked up and I went, okay, I'm not capable of that normally. There's no way. I look at the swing on video. In my mind, I'm like doing some sort of ridiculous jumping, humping motion. Didn't look like that at all. It just looked like a person who produced a nice downswing, moved their legs fairly well, got some nice extension through impact, and released the club. And when I talk about releasing the club, if your body is not moving in a way that allows the club to get through effectively, it's going to do it in weird ways. And for me, I've always had this feeling like my release kind of hangs on and it doesn't quite turn over, especially at high speed. And I'm thinking, man, maybe it's not just this part that hurt my wrist. Maybe it's what goes on the fall through, being so low and trying to like get the club to turn over, that's also hurting my wrist. So it might take me a couple to get a feel for it, just because this is literally the hardest shot I can imagine. But I'm going to do my best to not care, and this is what I tell everyone. You're working on something new. Who gives a shit where the ball goes? Who gives a shit how you strike it? Focus on the motion, which we will go watch. Focus on the numbers that are measurably important. So for me, producing dynamic loft at impact with a club like this is a nightmare. I can't do it unless I hit 6 degrees up on the ball. So that's the most important metric. If I hit it terribly, who cares? And I had that entirely foreign experience just the other day, sitting in here by myself, and I went, wow, man, this might be something you're onto. So some important things about that shot that are crazy. Again, my club head speed's down a little bit because I'm not relying on excessive lag. I'm fine with that. Launched a ball higher than I usually can even launch my driver. I was able to produce spin, which if anything was a little bit too high. I was able to hit downward slightly while producing enough dynamic loft to produce nice launch and spin. Not one of those things are things I have ever been capable of. We make the backswing, we stay pretty centered. It's still getting a little long, but I'm working on it. To me, this felt like, again, a very big upward sort of push and extension with sort of both legs, both knees. I felt like I did it right away to make a lot of space for the golf club. But what it really does is, as I very subtly, as you can tell, barely moved up, what it really does is allow this to naturally unwind to the ball. It allows the grip to slightly raise upward and allow the head to have room to unwind and match up with the lead arm by impact. We get this sort of straight line relationship that with a long club you want, not with an iron, obviously we want more shaft lean. I get a little bit of clearing, a little bit of trail foot movement that I don't normally have. And I don't have that massive hang back and then chase through that has sort of been the hallmark and frankly pet peeve of my swing for as long as I can remember. In this building, it only matters, can we produce a change in dynamics in ball flight? And can we look at actual high-speed footage and make sure we're doing it the right way, despite it feeling crazy. If anything, this is a little bit of a squat and then a tiny, tiny bit of push-up. Feel versus real, but already making a big difference.